Hello there, Elena Strombo playing Shroud of the Avatar. Elena is my in-game name. Um, One thing I want to talk about today is quickly talk about selling stuff. Um, so you're going out, you're either making stuff or you're finding stuff from adventuring loot off bad monsters and whatnot, and you want to sell it. And what are the different ways you can sell it? It depends. So the quickest and the easiest way for a lot of the stuff is you actually come in and onto a public vendor here, just a general person in the shop. You can click on them and say you can sell from inventory. So if I wanted to sell this banana, which I have on here, he'd buy it for two gold pieces. So basically what the vendors here typically are going to sell is that if they sell things for 4, they're going to buy them for 2. So they're always going to buy them for half price. So the advantage on this one is you can do it right away. So if I want to sell this banana, I can say, here you go. It says I have 45,743 and I have 45,745 when I'm done. Click the button, sold, done, got your money. So if you got a bunch of stuff from adventuring stuff, you want to sell it off, you can do that. You can make money really quick. It really doesn't cost you anything other than the fact that they're charging maybe half the value. Another thing you can do, I'm in the town of Owl's Head here. I'm going to come around the back side here where the banker's at. Oops, I came around the wrong side here. This way. One of the other things in most of the NPC towns, like this Owl's Head and Arders and stuff, you can find a public vendor. And this is Ronald, public vendor here. So this is a vendor that players can come and list things on here. They can put them all for whatever price they want. And you can come in and look at the different lists, and if you see something you want or need, or if it's a good price, you can do that. You can also sell. Or these are actually sell orders on here. Manage inventory. Here's where I can take something from my inventory and say, I want to put it on this public vendor and I want to sell it. You can do 10 items at a time. There's a couple of gotchas on here. Let's say I want to sell these 30 granite blocks. I can drop that over there. It's going to give me the suggested ones. Most times these go for four gold pieces a piece. So I'd probably put them at 120. So let's say I did it at 120. One of the things it's going to do is say, well, in order for you to list that, it's going to charge you 22 gold coins. So in the end, you're not going to get 120. If it sells, you're going to get 198. And it's only going to be on here for 7 days. And if you don't actually sell it and you don't pick it up in 7 days, you can come back and take it away. It will actually sell it for 30 gold. So you've basically lost a lot of money in that. So public vendors are useful. If you are using them, you have to make sure you know when you've listed something, keep coming back here. And if something's not going to sell, it's 6.5 days or whatever else, you can come in here and take it and take it from the inventory and put it back into yours. And you would still be out your fee. So if you're placing things on a public vendor, make sure they're at a good price. So let me show you one thing here. I can do some of the pricing. I've been buying a metal scrap. Doesn't look like I've got any there. Scrap. Oh, it looks like all the metal's gone. Alright, I'll do it on wood scrap. 1,000 for 3,800. So they're selling wood scraps for like 3.8 gold pieces a piece. This guy's selling for a little bit less. That guy's selling it for a little bit more. Right now this is the best price. This is actually a fair price. If you need a lot of wood scrap to do some woodwork, come in here and buy it. That's a pretty decent price. So if you're going to list it, if I was going to list 1,000 pieces of wood scrap, I'd look at this and say, all right, I probably will put it at 37.50. Be the lowest price on there and kind of stay a little bit competitive. A lot of the people will do that and just kind of get their price advantage. So public vendors, you can list up to 10 items. They do charge you a fee. You want to make sure you're price conscious, and it'll only be on there for 7 days. If it goes past the 7 days and it basically says, oh, okay, it didn't sell, it will automatically sell for a completely ridiculous low price, and you basically will lose your items and get hardly anything back. You don't want to do that. So that's the big caveat. But it's free and it's there. I mean, you can tell that there's a whole lot of stuff on this vendor itself, so it's a very public thing. People do visit it. I visit this thing nearly once a day looking for stuff that's in here. So a lot of times I'll look for some basic +1 armor, so I'll come in here and say, show me all your +1 stuff. And this guy's got leather boots for 2,500, which is just completely ridiculous. And there was some other stuff there earlier which I bought. So that's a good deal. So you have the NPCs inside the little houses where you can just sell things directly. You have the public vendor here where you can do that. If you've got a property, you can actually put a vendor on your property. Thing about vendors, there's two different types of vendors. It's like Ronald, they're our friend, the public vendor, except it's sitting on your property. So I'm going to go over to Owl's Head here. Actually, I can just do it here on this guy. This is someone's property, and this is their vendor. And one thing you see mousing over, it says commission free. If you're a backer, if you can find one of the deeds, you can buy them for cash, or you might be able to find them in the game on here for gold pieces. They're basically a vendor like Ronald, our public vendor, except it's on your lot. You can list as, I think, up to 100 items that are on there. No commission. This is low risk. You can put whatever price you want on there. You won't charge a listing fee, and it won't expire. So these will sit here until someone either buys them or you take them off there. But you got to have a piece of property, and you have to have one of these. Commission-free vendors are, if you're buying them for cash, or selling for about 125, 150. Sounds like a lot, but when you have a lot of things you want to sell, you don't want to be paying listing fees all the time. There is a taxed vendor. It's kind of like Ronald, except you own it and it's on your property. You have, you can list things forever. You can list up to 100 items, but there is listing fees on it. So if you can find yourself, you have a piece of property, you can find yourself a commission-free vendor, definitely worth it. Definitely, makes it, you can, as you get things like, here's my inventory. Got, if I wanted to sell these 39 pieces of war, I could list it right away, or the citron, probably go list it for, 300 or 350 bucks, or 350 gold on there. So the other fourth way is directly to a player. If you happen to run into someone, or you have someone in a guild, a friend you're playing with, tonight was a good example. I have a Phoenix Talon that I got from the Phoenix Quest. I wasn't using the Talon, it's just in my inventory. But one of the guys needs it for some bone armor he's making, I think bone gloves. And he heard that I had one. He's like, hey, could I buy that from you? Sure. We settled on a price. I, went over to him. I, brought up the trade window on his character and sold it to him directly. That's the best way. You can get, you're helping out someone you're getting a price right away. It's a safe trade window. You get your gold or whatever you're trading for on it, and it's there. So you can sell directly to the NPCs. They buy for about half its value. They don't buy anything really exotic, all your basic resources and stuff. But it's quick, it's instant. You got some money, you're on your way. There is the public vendor in the towns. You can go there, list up to 10 items, charges you a fee. The items can list for 7 days. If you don't sell it or take it back in 7 days, it sells it off for a ridiculous price and that whatnot. Then there's the commission-free and the tax vendors that people can put on their properties like this. They both operate the same way. You can list up to 100 items. They can stay out there as long as they want. The commission-free doesn't charge you a listing fee. The tax one does. And I personally, if you own a piece of property, go find yourself a commission vendor. That also means your property needs to be somewhere where people are walking, and that's why Owl's Head is one of the probably the most popular towns out there, outside Brittany Alleys. I mean, there are other towns. This is one of the first towns that was in the game, but there's a lot of foot traffic on here. So wherever you can get if you can get a location on here, this is something that is really good from a vendor perspective. So that was it. Hope that helps out. Any questions, drop us a line. Once again, this is Elena Strongbow from SotAtutorials.com. Take care.